Yo, what's up? This is Tom from Suburban Helltapes. We got a very special edition of Utopian Voids today. We're here at James Games. We'll be talking about a Suburban Helltapes release, which is the now-defunct Dead Batteries compilation volume 1 on cassette. We got it right here. And we got DJBLASTUM here.
Hello, my name is Jojo, also known as DJBLASTUM, the founder of 909 Dead Batteries, which is a local music collective with the aim to bring more experimental and 8-bit music into the Inland Empire.
So can you tell us a little bit about the tracks you personally contributed on this one?
Sure, so the first track that I contributed, it's a DJBLASTUM song, and it's literally called 909 Dead Batteries. I wanted the title to match the title of the collaboration. It is pretty much a 8-bit Game Boy grindcore song, and the first part of it, the little intro, is actually a cover of a song from Pokemon Red and Blue, which is pretty cool because we got Red and Blue version here on the 909 Dead Batteries Volume 1.
You're from Upland, right?
Yes, I'm from Upland. I was born in Pomona Valley Hospital. Grew up in Upland, just down the street for most of my life.
So in Upland, do you have a favorite low-key food spot?
Yeah, my favorite food spot in Upland, it would have to be Century Pho on Mountain and Foothill.
Nice.
Just really good Vietnamese food. Love it.
Can you tell us about any fond memories you have of James Games?
Gosh, I mean, almost every day I've come here was a fond memory. My first date was here at James Games. My friends and I were unemployed and coming here every single day until this bitch closed, you know? I miss James Games.
Yeah, how long has it been since it closed? We and Dustin were trying to remember.
You know, it's been about 4 years.
Oh, okay.
Been closed for about 4 years. I remember crying the day I saw the Facebook post announcing when it shut down.
Tragic.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the music you make and the name of your project?
I'm called VJ Franz K online, and VJ stands for video jockey, actually, which I do as well as music like projections and graphics and stuff like that. I like to make electronic music of all kinds, including chiptune. I have my solo music, and I'm also a member of the Great Pyramids and of the Musical Scientists.
For all those artists you just listed, they all contributed one track to this compilation. Can you tell us a little bit about those tracks?
Well, the Frankenstein dub is an interesting track that we made, discussing high tech and its effect on the human mind and loneliness and existence in the world, and not fitting in, perhaps, is definitely part of the Frankenstein experience, if you know what I mean. This is not the Frankenstein, but I had another keyboard device that I called the Frankenstein because it was made up of a bunch of random parts and held together with gaffer tape and stuff like that.
Any favorite food or food spot in the 909 that you'd love to shout out? Something a little low-key, underrated, unknown?
You know, what is this? The Kishi Sushi restaurant?
It is.
That we're right by?
Yes.
It's a good place, actually, and you know, I used to love to play at James Games. We'd go in there and put in our quarters and 50 cent and Hadoken. You know, it was a really great gathering place, and I guess it's a sign of the times that these physical meeting places are closing, being replaced by online gaming lobbies or whatever. You know, the other thing that was funny is we're all trying to find it. We're like, take us to James Games in Upland, California. It's like, humans cannot go to a business that is closed. The journey has no purpose. Consumers cannot go to a business that... And, you know, that just reminded me yet again of AI is so amazing, and yet it still doesn't totally understand something like that is totally obvious to us.
Yeah, why would you ever want to go somewhere that's closed where you can't spend your money?
Exactly right. I mean, isn't that why we exist? From their point of view, maybe, I guess it is. You know, they're... So right, they don't have artificial general intelligence yet. yet.
We're not there yet.
You know, asterisk there.
So can you talk about the artwork that you did for this release?
Well, yes, it is a battery that is a punk rocker. I was talking with DJBLASTUM and other people about what the mascot for 909 Dead Batteries might be, and in this case it is a battery, but trying to make it look like one of those 90s attitude heroes that video games would have, like Sonic the Hedgehog and Crash Bandicoot, where it was like Sega and all of that crazy stuff, and they were trying to sell it partially on the character. I was trying to make that look like a game cover and stuff, but all of the Japanese on there make sense. It's not gibberish. I put it in translate so I could translate it over, and it says what it means. The last thing I would tell you is my solo track on there was called Battery. It's sort of like a Cyber Elvis style track. You know, it's got some rockabilly stuff, and I recorded it quite a long time ago. But I finished it up again because I'm like, wow, this is the perfect track to be featured on the 909 Dead Batteries. And it was me writing about how I wanted more battery-powered gear. And now, over 10 years later, I have it all, this battery-powered stuff. My motivation is just, I often am jamming out with like guitar players and other people. I don't play guitars. I sing, and I operate synthesizers as my backing. But you know, I wanted a way that I could go and jam with them spontaneously and play on stage and not be stuck behind a little desk or something like that, you know, and obviously some of our other performers jump around with Game Boys in their hands and rock out, so that is very possible too. So the revolution in electronics that are battery powerable and mobile devices, that's cool, and it's so cool that now a person with just their cell phone could make an entire album. And that has slowly become true over the last 15 to 20 years, that a cell phone is competent to make music. So how amazing. And I thought that it is a great comparison to the punk rock scene with the guitars and the early hip hop with the turntables, where the people are taking the stuff they have and using that for music. You know, in the folk music, they'll take a washboard and make it into music. So this is us in the 21st century taking our devices and other stuff and using it for musical and self-expression purposes. I've got a few different rigs, and this is the lightest, smallest one, but it also has the most technical problems at this point. We'll plug that one into here. Hey, hello. This thing doesn't work that well. 909 Dead Batteries. Cyberpunk, use what you got.
We're here with Mode 7. How's it going?
Oh, it's going great. Glad to be here today. My name is Mode 7. I make video game rap. I think that's the easiest way to explain it. But of course, I'm influenced by a lot of video game inspired music from video game bands, the original video game music, chiptune artists, and people tinkering with the tech and the gear that keeps these sounds alive. And of course, rappers that are always referencing video games, from mainstream rappers down to underground rappers and local rappers, inspired by all that stuff.
And then could you talk about a little bit about the track you did for the 2024 compilation?
I had a track that I was working on, because usually I'll remix video game music into like a new beat and I'll rap over that, but I was listening to a Game Boy track from a video game called Top Gear Pocket, and the intro track for that game, it just goes so hard that I did not want to touch the track at all, and I just kind of went for it and wrote a rap about, you know, going fast and all that. I was really happy with it, but it kind of sat on my hard drive for a little while until DJBLASTUM reached out about putting together a chiptune compilation. I was like, I have the perfect track.
That song has been stuck in my head all day. It's so catchy. Like, the song goes really hard, and then with the rap on top, it's like, that's like an earworm, bro. Like, it's stuck in my head. Yeah, it's really good. So do you have, like, when it comes to finding video game music for like stuff that you're gonna rap over, do you have a particular genre of games, like time period of games that you're looking at primarily?
Of course, like I always gravitate towards the ones I grew up with, which would be like from the NES, the Super Nintendo era, up until maybe like GameCube and Dreamcast. So that's kind of like where where I really love to dive in. But I'm kind of a video game historian, so I'm in love with a lot of the things from the past. Like, of course, I just did the Missile Command remix. I love like old classic golden age arcade games. I love like the sounds of the arcade when you're at an old school arcade with all the cabinets on and all the like sounds and graphics and old school explosion noises.
While we're here at James Games today, did you ever used to come here to James Games?
This is actually my first time at James Games.
Oh, okay, for sure.
I guess technically I've never been because we can't get inside. This is my first time. I've lived in Los Angeles County and Inland Empire like all my life. And this is my first time seeing the famous James Games sign. You know, it's like the Hollywood sign. You have to go see it once, you know? So every other Wednesday, if you check it out at Fusion Bar and Kitchen in El Monte, you'll be able to join us for a retro game night. So we do that every 2 weeks out in El Monte. And then also, since I live near Pomona, I'm usually doing a lot of open mics, a lot of little shows there. And then, of course, there's 3-Bit Games, aka The Shop out there in Pomona. I've been able to DJ and perform a couple times there. They are always doing some cool shows or video game related or TCG related stuff.
Are you familiar with KSPC radio at all?
Oh yeah, I listen to them a lot. They have I'm not familiar with it just yet, but I've been listening to this where they have a show where it's just noise music.
Oh yeah.
It's wonderful. And of course KSPC also has the video game music show, which I listen to on Sundays whenever I get the chance.
Anything else you want to shout out? Anything you got coming up that you want to promote? Or?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have some more mixtapes coming out soon. I'm gonna have a summer mixtape based on a lot of classic Super Nintendo music, and then I'm also hoping to get a Kirby album out next year.
Oh, nice.
So look forward to those, and you could also check out the mixtape I just dropped, which is based on the niche Nintendo DS game called Meteos. I took a lot of samples from that, and it made basically like a love album. Yeah, it's called Love at the End of the Universe.
Yes. I love that first song that was talking about like the world's ending, but you're just trying to date, trying to hit up girls or whatever.
Yeah, that's like the concept of the whole album.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine the world's ending in like, say, a week. It's like, are you gonna kind of try to do the same things, but like on fast forward? Like try to get everything that you wanted to get done in your life in those last 7 days.
I like that. That's a great album concept. This has been Tom for Utopian Voids, here today with Mode 7. Thanks so much for coming out, man.
Thank you.
I'm here with Sochi. So I want to ask about what you contributed for this compilation here. So first, can you just tell us your artist name, your project name, and tell us about the kind of music that you make?
The artist name is Sickass. I basically make all of my tracks off of my phone.
The track you contributed for this one was called Festering.
Yeah.
Anything you want to share about that song in particular?
I titled it Festering because it was kind of like in the midst of like kind of just like a bad time in my life. Yeah, I was just very much in my room, just kind of like being to myself. I felt like kind of like all of the things in my mind were like festering. I feel like I kind of like poured out like a lot into that song, you know, like it's been kind of like the culmination of like things that I was feeling, and I guess that I am currently still feeling, but like right now it's like the best thing that I've made so far. And yeah, as far as like lyrical content and stuff like that, I just feel like it really like speaks to me and just like a lot of the things that I feel kind of day to day. I am in a couple other bands right now. I'm a drummer in a band called Limit Breaker and then another band called Good Fits. Making this solo project that I did, it was very like, it didn't really have a direction, you know, which I enjoy about it, you know. It was always just for making sounds, like just experimenting and stuff like that. When DJBLASTUM kind of hit me up about this, I wanted to give him something like worthwhile for sure, you know. I was like, this is like a really like dope project, you know, and like for him to kind of like spearhead this was like really, it was a cool opportunity, you know. It was cool to like be like, okay, I've kind of just been doing my own thing, you've been doing your own thing, but now like you want to bring it together where it's like, you know, a collective effort, you know. So I'm like, yeah, for sure, like let's throw in some of the goods on that, you know.
Here, so where are you from?
Originally just here from SoCal, but right now I'm staying in Claremont.
I'm out in Claremont too right now, and I've definitely seen like your stickers around, or like
cool.
your tags.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that was actually what I wanted to ask you about. Anything to say about like stickers or tagging?
It's taken up my life. It's kind of become like everything lately. But what I really enjoy about like that aspect of art and stuff like that is that it's very much like solo, you know.
Any like favorite food spots you want to shout out?
Donahue's pretty cool.
Donahue's.
There's this place called Rafa's that like they have some pretty good like drinks like aguas frescas and stuff. They make like, I think they make their own bread there and stuff like that. Like it's all very like home style, you know, like very, you know, it's like a small little market, but it's really dope. I used to work at the Village Market in Claremont, so shout out to them.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That's like the liquor store, right?
Yeah.
Going there all the time. Well, thanks so much for coming out today. And,
Appreciate you.
Hell yeah. What's up? Here with Josh. You want to go ahead and tell us your artist name and a little bit about the music you make?
So the main artist name I usually go by is 42 is the answer. I go also by Greedo Starks when I'm doing rap music. And at some point I was known as the Pink Supervisor for KSPC when I was DJing for him years ago. It's a lot of the music that I've been kind of meddling around with from time to time has been chiptune, punk, techno, acoustic when I kind of mess around with the guitar, and whatever I fancy at the moment. So I'm all over the place.
Can you tell us the name of the track you had on this compilation and just like anything about that?
The track on here that I did was Mic on Mic. It was actually a theme song for an old friend of mine who was working on a project where he would go around and interview cosplayers and various other people within the convention scene. So he asked for me to do a theme song for him, and I recorded the theme song. And since I kind of wanted it back out there, not for his show anymore, but more as an independent track, I contributed it to the 909 Dead Batteries compilation, and now it's out there for other people to hear outside of people who listen to that podcast, if it's still going.
Yeah, what was the name of that podcast?
It was actually called Mic on Mic.
Okay, perfect. So just that's the theme right there.
Yep.
Cool. And then I just wanted to ask, so where are you from?
Actually local in the Empire, Fontana, California for some people, Fontucky.
Mm-hmm. And then do you have like a favorite food place in Fontana? Do you want to shout out like a low-key spot? It's underrated.
I'm going to have to say Billy J's. It's a restaurant off of Sierra Avenue. Really good place. Got really good like Denny's style food, but better than Denny's. So
it's like a diner type spot?
Diner type
okay,
spot.
For sure. Did you have any fond memories of James games here?
God, yes. Going on from, I want to say 18 to when they closed, I would come over here with a bunch of my buddies, and I would hijack the jukebox for like $4 or $5 worth of songs, play pool, bust out on Bust a Move. There was this weird kind of like game, I called it the porno game, even though it was a very subtle kind of like nice game where you just sit there and do that little thing where you guide the stream and you open up new portions of a picture that popped up. I don't know what those games are called, but it was an anime one. It was weird. I played it a lot. Real fun. And then of course, you know, the usuals, Marvel vs. Capcom, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, whatever they had, I'd bust out on that all the time. Cool. A lot of good memories from James games. Missed the place.
But thanks a lot, Josh. Here with the homie DJBLASTUM.
What up?
Can you talk about Wiz Wars and like the history of 909 Dead Batteries?
Indeed. So Wiz Wars is one of the people that submitted a track on the compilation, and they were one of the two heads of 8-Bit LA, 8-Bit Los Angeles. They were the original chiptune scene in the Los Angeles area. So they eventually had to give that up and stop running those events, but I always felt inspired to do something similar here in the 909. You know, I always wanted a Pomona chiptune scene, LSDJ. And I was talking to some friends like who were all artists, and I was like, you know what? I want to kind of do this thing called 909 Dead Batteries, where it's a little music collective of 909 people. And my friend was like, you better fucking do that, because I'm going to steal that right now. And I'm like, okay. And when I started posting on Instagram trying to get people to join this compilation, all of a sudden so many people came through, and I just want to teach people chiptune. That's kind of like the end goal with 909 Dead Batteries. I want to teach people how to access and learn this software. So it's all thanks to Wiz Wars, who is personally my mentor and who's been encouraging me to do this. And I'm really thankful for him. Sucks. I mean, At the end of the day, Little Sound DJ is a Game Boy music software program. You can download it for free off their website, littlesounddj.com. If you can run an emulator on your cell phone or your laptop, which is free software, you can run Little Sound DJ for completely free. And I would love to teach people how to use the software. There's also video guides and manuals online. And what I love about it is just the accessibility part. You don't need to spend hundreds of dollars on a nice computer or on nice synthesizers. It's free, and it's less than 1 megabyte, the file. It's less than 1 megabyte. So yeah, I just really hope that people get excited about this as I am.
Yeah, there's something about that, like what you were mentioning about it being free, being able to use emulator, and like the low file size. There's like a comparison to be made to like punk music, like DIY. Like this is very much seems like an electronic kind of version of that.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
and the documentaries, there's 2 Chiptune documentaries. They also talk about that. It's an attack against forced obsolescence of technology. Like your old computers still work today in 2025. You could still use Windows XP, Windows 95. But these software and hardware companies want you to think, throw your old stuff away, get the new one. Throw the old stuff away, get the new one. So we are fighting against forced obsolescence. This is like 25-year-old software that still works like a charm today.
keeping it alive, keeping the software history alive. I love that.
Amen.